Hi, guys. Welcome to Essence of Life. Today, we're going to talk about why social media is good for us socially. I'm Amanda Armagast.
I'm Melissa Haber.
And I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence.
So I'll start it off by saying one of the biggest things that I've noticed about social media is that having it gives us right at the tip of our hands access to almost any type of culture in anywhere in the world. And I feel like that really helps us learn the way different people live their lives.
The world is a global village, truly. You have friends in a village in Africa and in another one in Iceland and then in Japan and so on, and we communicate. And I think as well that helps truly people start learning more languages and English, especially English. And that has practical effect in everybody's life if people can communicate more. There is a good story, a book I read. It's called The War That Ended Peace. It's about the First World War. It's about how all these countries in Europe, they were ready to go to war. One of the reasons they were ready to go to war, they knew nothing about each other. Everybody villainized the other side. Everybody, these were all, Christian. And they were thinking that God loves one and hate the other and so on. They're in Europe. I'm talking about the Europe. And one of the things I learned from that can never ever happen in Europe again, because people are friends in almost every single European country. The borders are gone. They talk to each other, and not physically, but with social media, virtually, all those other borders in the rest of the world are vanishing in a good way. I think that is good for humanity.
In a social way, these borders definitely are disappearing, but I think still in a government sense or like in a technical sense, these borders are still here. And that's why I think social media is so beautiful, because even though these borders still exist and it's one country versus another country in some cases, you still see the humanity of the people living in those countries because you have social media, especially TikTok.
I think you put that very, very well, is that you see less of, the statistics, the numbers, the stereotypes, and you see more of the people. And I think that in itself is beautiful. So thanks for sharing that.
Yeah. Now, there's absolutely a downside of that. Like at 2 a.m., I hear my son yelling into a computer. I think he has some social media thing that they play games with each other.
Yeah, there's a lot of big ones. My brothers do that too.
Yeah, and then you hear at 2 a.m. that, idiot, what are you doing? And so on. No, but still, he's connecting to people, to actual people. And I know we have lots of concern about that. Why don't you go out? Why don't you do this and that? And so on. I remember the time that I could talk to my family only once every 6 months, because when I would call them on the phone, it would cost so much. And now I can just pick up the phone and we share photos, we share our lives with each other and so on. And I don't believe humanity has been ever this close to each other.
And let's be honest, they make it really easy for us too. There's different applications on phones nowadays that you can send just pictures, send just text messages to different parts of the world without having to pay for it. There's so many different ways to connect all across the globe.
And when you look at it from a religious aspect, I feel like there's a lot of arguments from one religion to another religion. But when you go on social media, you get to see all of these different women and men who have a different religion from you, but still have the same morals as you and like go to school.
Even simpler, they have the same humor, like things that are funny to them are funny to us. How many times do we see like a TikTok from somebody somewhere else that they even use sometimes the same music and so on? That is beautiful, how it brings the people closer to each other and enable us to have a common denominator here, which is our humanity.
It's bringing us closer together, but I also feel like the people who are anti-social media or resistant to social media, it almost drives a wedge between them and the people who do have social media, because the people who, what you know. So if you don't know that people are still people in other countries just because they have different language from you or different culture from you, it doesn't really mean that they're different from you. And so when I see my older generations,
Are you referring to me?
no, not you. I mean, older generations that don't go on social media, you're pretty tech savvy.
Yeah.
But let's say my grandma, for existence, or people my grandma's age, they have no awareness of other people from other cultures. And it kind of drives me crazy and it makes me upset because I'm thinking, how are you so close-minded?
Yeah, that close-mindedness is, we should think about that in a historical kind of context. For thousands of years, the majority of the humanity lived, was born, lived, and died within somewhere between 15 miles of where they were
Yeah.
born. It was extremely rare to travel 50 miles, 50 miles out of
Mhm.
it. And now all of a sudden, I learned some the Hispanic words on a TikTok or some Instagram meme or something. Now, we should consider that this is just the last 40 years that the borders virtually are vanishing.
True.
Okay? And it's hard to, and that is, as I actually explained, I was reading another book that was talking about how our genetic is made for being friendly or not friendly. We are friendly to things we know.
Yeah, what we're
We are
comfortable with.
reserved to things we don't know. You can call it reserved, you can call it not friendly or opposed. But if we grow up and we know all the cultures or many cultures, it's much harder to make enemies or perceive people as enemies if you have exposure to them.
I agree.
So since we are talking about social media, I should say as well that, I'm a TikTok addict.
No.
Yes.
Come clean. I should come clean. I'm a TikTok addict. Like, and the word, I'm not trying to be funny, but if you have 50 other things to do, but then you just sit in the bathroom and you're just swapping for 15 minutes until your legs go numb, then you have a problem.
Which we don't suggest, right?
Yeah, I'm a TikTok addict, but I would say I'm a functioning TikTok addict. So I do watch TikTok all evening, but while I'm doing other things.
If your legs go numb, you may be watching a little too long.
Yes. But what should we do about that? How do we, limit things like that? Are there ways to do that, Amanda?
Well, you definitely should be limiting your social media intake, of course, just like you limit any type of intake, any
Mhm.
content intake, or even food intake.
But just like anything else, I think it varies from person to person as well. Like we often say, everything is okay in moderation. And that's the same thing with social media. I think if it starts taking a toll on you, where, like Amanda said, you're not getting basic things done, or you're
Mhm.
spending maybe a little bit too much time in the bathroom, maybe it's affecting your health, maybe it's hemorrhoids or something. Maybe then you're seeing more of the negative side of things, and you're jumping out of the little circle of moderation there.
Well, the thing with the bathroom thing is that, I think it's not limited to me. I think that is like lots of people even make jokes about that people cannot go even to bathroom without their cell phone anymore. Have you heard
No,
of
I'm
that?
guilty.
Yeah.
Everyone knows I take my phone into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Actually,
Should we talk about the shower?
No, we can move on.
So, but just so you know, I have now friends in Australia. Hey, Aussie bestie, and friends in Rome. Hello, Roman bestie, and in many other countries. And we share a piece of our lives with them. Even though I have never been in those places, we share a piece of our lives with them. And as well, people who I would never connect otherwise. Like one of my besties is actually a 22-year-old Moroccan woman in Florida. that would be totally weird for me and her to connect in a real life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here we share. I'm interested, in her life, and she always watch my TikTok, and we comment on each other.
Mhm.
That sort of this separation make things that would be in person actually weird somehow non-weird, and we still can share. You see that takes the barrier away
Mhm.
and let us connect not only to people of other cultures, but people of other age, people who are other gender, that the connection, a real connection, could be, a little more laden with problems and so on. So
Mhm.
it truly opens your horizon to many other experience. Now, I'm still not going to watch gaming TikToks and
No,
YouTubes.
I'll never.
That drives me crazy when my son does that.
Hey, Amanda, how long have I had TikTok?
Well, you've been
Well, actively
posting
posting on TikTok.
TikToks for maybe 1 month.
I was going to say about under a month. And I would say I've had about 3 to 4 people message me from around the world in that month alone.
Right.
And that was without trying. It was just genuine connection, questions about the United States. And then I got to ask some questions about where they lived as well. And that was my first experience of having someone actually reach out to learn about my culture.
Yeah.
We live in America where, oh, it's America. Do we even have a culture? The melting
Sure we do.
pot,
Sure we do.
growing up here, America's America, and we think
Yeah.
everything everywhere else is so cool. And then it kind of gets flipped, and I kind of forget sometimes that
It's
other
cute.
people want to know about us, or they don't know as much as we think they do.
It's also interesting because you can see the perspective of other cultures, like other cultures' perspective on America. I see a lot of TikToks from other countries talking about how they view America, and it's kind of a wake-up call for me. I never would have thought that.
But did you notice as well, many of the music that now go viral, they're not necessarily American. Like, what is
Mhm.
that? Helicopter. You
remember that. I remember that. But I
That's-
know Drake, he uses like a lot of foreign language in his music lately.
Okay.
It's like every year he's choosing a different
Yeah.
language to use.
And then that is yeah. But I noticed that we get now for a long time, the flow of culture has been from US to the rest of the world.
Mm.
But now something is coming back. And I see that as a beautiful, positive thing.
Absolutely.
I agree. And it's also speeding up the way we learn new technologies. We're actually going to Oman next week,
Yes,
which
we
never
are.
would have happened without social media or happened so fast.
Yeah, we are going there to do surgery and the teaching and learning from the culture, and but as well, we are opening a few more centers across the world. Where else are we going, Amanda?
We're going to Ecuador, Germany, maybe the Czech Republic,
And United Kingdom.
UK. But it's amazing that just because of social media, actually Instagram to be specific, not even LinkedIn, a professional
Yeah,
page,
yeah.
we are able to bring a medical technique to a whole other continent.
Yeah, and that is, before, like, there's a good story here to be learned from. In 1970s, 60s, and 70s, a doctor, very famous now, found that the gastric ulcer is a bacterial disease.
Mm.
Nobody believed him. His colleagues didn't believe him. He was literally laughed off the stage. And it took him 28 years to prove to the rest of the world. Actually, he infected himself and he took the antibiotic, cured himself. And in that 28 years, I cannot say how many countless lives were lost because we used to cut you open and take your stomach out instead of just giving you a pill. Nobody wanted to believe him. But now the social media allows us to go to public.
Absolutely.
And literally, we don't have to wait for what we are doing. We don't have to wait 30 years until the old farts die and,
Right.
excuse my French, and new generation accept what we are doing. We go to public, we show them what it is, and they're smart. They
I
can
love that
understand
you
it.
brought that point up because I know Amanda and I, when we work together, often if we have a question, instead of even Googling it, we can go to TikTok, type it in, and we get a 10-second video on how to do something that we would have spent who knows how long reading, trying
Right.
to figure out, watching
There you
30-minute long YouTube videos. It's amazing. And these aren't people that are our neighbors.
Yeah.
These are people across the world, countries, who knows?
I love them that you call them your neighbors, even if they're across the world.
Mhm.
So, that truly another power of the social media that makes people in a small village in somewhere in Middle East your neighbor.
Mhm.
Yeah.
The-
So,
The growth of TikTok, especially, I think TikTok versus Instagram is very different, but the growth of TikTok is also, I think, making people feel more comfortable to be themselves. There's more individualization on TikTok. And when you make it, like I've been making sandwich videos and I'll post these sandwich videos on TikTok and I get messages from people I went to high school with that are like, how are you doing? I haven't heard from you in a long time. I love your sandwich videos. And it's just a really good way to connect with other people that maybe I wouldn't have connected back with.
let's as well talk about the elephant in the room, because some people say Chinese government is using TikTok for some nefarious reason and so on and so forth. I think it is in best interest of TikTok and China to come clean there if there is anything. But at the end of the day, I think we should let the business be business and the social media be social media. In my opinion, if there is something there, nobody can really say, please, if anybody knows something for sure in the government, they need to come clean to us, tell us what's going on. Because I have too many friends on TikTok to give up just
Yeah.
because on a notion that something nefarious is going on.
Mhm.
I agree. I think expecting the government to be honest with you is a really big ask. It's not really their MO.
Yeah, but especially it comes from US government that they're accusing TikTok to be used for nefarious reason, but come clean, tell us what's going on.
So what do they think TikTok is being used for?
It's always have suggestion that the Chinese government is using it to spy on American.
Mm.
But it never goes beyond actual rumors or hearsay.
Yeah.
So I think we in America, we deserve, if there is something, let
There-
us know.
There is something that I guess we should probably put out there that has to do with social media. And that's the fact that once you do put things out there on the internet, they do stay there. And that is kind of where people have that insecurity as okay, I'm not going to post this. I don't want this out there. Who knows who could see it. There is some truth behind, you have to be careful what you post on the internet.
That's true.
But I'm putting it outside myself for
Right,
everybody.
by
They
choice.
don't have to spy on me.
Yeah,
They
but-
want to
Exactly.
do it.
That's actually what I was thinking when you were talking about China spying on us. I don't mean to sound ignorant, but I already post everything about my life on TikTok, so I don't really care if China's spying on me. Like, I'm
Check
not.
it out. She's
Yeah,
not
I'm not.
lying.
The general secretary of Chinese Communists. Oh, come, people! Amanda made a new sandwich.
Yeah,
She's
look
out
at
there making her chickens again.
You have to
Peanut
find the
butter.
chicken.
Oh.
Go find those
Oh.
chicken.
Exactly.
You do have a point there that most of the time they are posted by that particular person.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'm in favor of it. Social media. So
We're all very pro social media here.
obviously we are sitting here. Obviously we are
going live on just a few social media
Yeah.
platforms.
My hope is that more people will join social media. There's a lot of people that are social media resistant because it does get a lot of negative attention
Mhm.
because of filters and kind of faking your life in a way. But I have the feeling that we're going away from that over filtered social media.
Now, I'm going to, on the medical side, say as well about the big problem in most of industrialized countries. When people get older, there's a huge problem there. Do you know what I'm going to talk about? The loneliness.
Mhm.
Lots of older people, like I'm sure your grandmother is always very happy to see you because you are the highlight of
Yeah.
the week every time she sees you. And the social media, the way we are, just the fact that one of my bestie is like 20 something and she's somewhere else and we talk and so on, lots of barriers goes away. And this social media, if done right, it can really counteract this problem of elderly when they become lonely, old and lonely. And so I think we should actually, bring it as a therapeutic thing, create this environment that people can connect to other people in a positive way, learn from that even better. Every time we know a learning brain ages slower.
That's true.
So what you can do if you have a family member that's getting older and they feel lonely, do your best actually to create something for them that they get connection. And this is not only connection, one-way connection. In many cases, in many areas, it can be going both ways, truly connecting to other people.
My grandma is also not very tech savvy, but she does have Facebook and she does very minimal social media.
Mhm.
But she loves that. She loves
Mhm.
even just playing the games on Facebook because you're playing against other friends or they've
Yeah.
already played the levels, but when she passes, she's on a leaderboard with her friends.
Mhm.
And even it might not have direct connection, but I do think it helps her feel involved, less
Mhm.
alone. And I know she spends a lot of time and she really does enjoy it. So however you enjoy social media, I say go for it.
Yeah.
Definitely. And they're definitely making it easier for people to enjoy TikTok. Again, for an example, you don't need to add people. You don't need to accept friends. You don't need to search for what you're looking for like you do on YouTube. You just scroll and the algorithm knows what you're looking for. And they make it very easy for people to do without really learning how to do it.
But the best part of it is when you connect to actual people,
Mhm.
I'll
when you are
agree.
part of their life and they're part of your life, even if they are on the other side of the world.
I
We
agree.
love the comments.
Oh,
We
for
love
sure.
the direct messages. We
Yeah.
love the connecting side of things for sure.
Well,
Thank you guys for watching.
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Abbasi for Essence,
I'm Amanda Armagast.
I'm Melissa Haber.
and you have a good weekend.
See you next
Thanks,
week.
guys.